Hello everyone, my name is Jen and I'm going to go over how to set up your Google Ads campaign. Basically, what you want to do is to go into your Google Drive and create a document called PPC strategy and the client name, for example. And within this, we're going to do what's called a PPC skeleton. Reason being, you want to make sure that for liability purposes, if for any reason at all, your client's like, oh no, I never got PPC, you always have something that the client had to approve and have an email trail that you have sent to ensure that you are covered always. In addition, it's also a great way to help your client to be able to see what you're proposing in your plan and to be able to give their feedback, approval, and in the process, you're going to learn more about them as well. So it's double whammy, and I highly recommend that everyone use this. So we're going to go ahead and jump right in. Beyond this Google Doc, what you're also going to need is your keyword research tool. In this tutorial, I'm going to be using KW Finder. It's wonderful, it's effective, and it gives you a budget as well for what you should utilize for your, your company's campaign or client's campaign. So what I've done here is I'm setting it up. I have the client name at the top. Then I go into where we're going to target. This is a conversation you need to have your client beforehand. Is it a very specific city? Are these counties? And do we need a radius around them? Or is it going to be a really pinpointed and targeted city only? You need to really delve in and get that information beforehand. In addition, telephone number. Is there going to be a telephone number, the actual business line, or are you going to be creating a tracking number? Ideally, a tracking number is the best, but just keep in mind that Google Ads is extremely strict about tracking numbers now, and if they can't verify and test it yourself, you're going to see that your number will be disallowed within a certain number of days, if not a week at the tops. So please keep in mind, tracking numbers are awesome, but you're going to need to really test them and make sure they work. Next, for your Google My Business account, if you have one, which you should, SEOs and other gurus, you're going to need to place that link in here. You're going to learn how to link this in your campaigns and be able to see how many clicks to this were done via Google Ads. Very effective. In addition, if there's a landing page, which you should on any single ads campaign, you're going to place that link here, making it nice and easy. If there's logins, we're actually needing that now. We're going to make some changes to it. You're going to place them into your sheet or into your LastPass. In addition, callouts. This is one of the extensions that we use. There's a minimum of 5 I recommend that everyone utilize. Callouts is one. It's basically where you're saying what the coolest features, things that are eye-catching, what will prompt someone to click on the ad, except, beyond just the text of the ad. So these are nice, cool little features that are going to make it stand out. Moving forward, the next one is called a call extension. Now, you already have the telephone number at the top. So what this call extension actually does is it's going to take this number that you put in your extension, but then there's an option to put conversion tracking. I'll show you how to set this up in tutorial 2, but without that, you can't tell how many people actually called. You have to have this turned on in order to say, hey, we had 7 calls, 10 calls, 20 calls, whatever it may be. Definitely an essential component of any ads campaign. Then we have rich snippet extensions. That's another one we're going to set up in the back. Site link extensions, you want to put what pages, links to it that the extensions will be driving visitors to, whether it's their 3 highest services they're wanting to pinpoint and target. It could be anything. If it's a hairdresser, maybe it's a haircut page and there's a color page and then it's a keratin blowout page. You get the drift. But you will need to talk to your client to see what services they're wanting to pinpoint the most. In addition, budget. KW Finder, like I mentioned, when I show you how to do the keyword research, is going to help you in order to craft a budget that your client will need to start with. It's a wonderful way to get a baseline number and often eye-opening for the client instead of just guessing it. There is an actual strategy and a formula I'll teach you. Beyond that, we're going to jump straight into how to create these ads and the rules in creating this so that your skeleton is accurate and can easily be copied and pasted into your campaign. So first question is, how many campaigns do I need? How many ad groups within them do I need? Think of campaigns as your file cabinet. One file cabinet is going to be in one office, and if everything within that file cabinet pertains to that office, then that file can go in it. But if you have another office, let's say, one office is in Orlando and another office in Miami, well, you're going to need that file cabinet in Miami. So it makes sense to have separate file cabinets, Same thing with Google Ads. You're going to have clients that say, hey, I want, ads for Texas, and I also want ads in Miami. And you're going to say, you know what? I'm going to need 2 separate file cabinets because all of my content and everything for Texas should sound like I'm a darn Texan and I'm in Texas and I'm selling in Texas. And all of my copy that's in Florida should sound like a Floridian that's trying to sell in Florida. So that should help you to, as a baseline rule of when you need to use multiple campaigns. Then within your campaign are your actual files in your cabinet, right? So ad groups are your files. I have one here. and I denote it, and I try to make it bold and everything. And each filing cabinet's basically focusing on one of the services that you really, really want to hit hard. So in this case, or this scenario, cabinets general is what I call just kind of like your basic terms, like I need kitchen cabinets in so-and-so location, like Orlando. Very general key terms. I have another one for shaker cabinets, which is another item that's very popular for this type of industry. Another one for wood cabinets. There is a niche and a public that does want these type of cabinets, is willing to pay more. Colors, because in this industry I've done this for years, I know colors will come up. That's just knowledge base, but you'll go learning the more you do these. Kitchen remodeling is the next service the client wants to hit, so on and so forth. So you're going to see that I have several files in my cabinet, and that's okay. You want to make sure that your ad group is always relevant. So now we're going to talk about that relevant part. How do we write these? How do we find keywords for these? Where do I start? So things to know. In your file, I'm going to start with ad group 1. Cabinets. We're going to focus on cabinets. In this file, before you write any ads or descriptions or anything, stop. You need to actually conduct keyword research. And for that is where you're going to use your tool. Why? Because your ads and all your copy will be based around some of these keywords. That's going to improve your ad relevancy score. Because of course, if I'm talking about dogs and boots in my ads, but my keywords have to do with, I don't know, food, that's not really relevant. I need my keywords and my ads to be in sync and to be one whole unit. So make sure they're a unit. In order to do that, we go to KW Finder. We're going to insert one of the locations. I'm going to be focusing on the Orange County filing cabinet right now. And so what I did, and just to make this long story short, you'll go to this tool, and what you want to do is run what you think people are searching. That's a conversion term. Kitchen cabinets for sale in Orlando. Kitchen cabinets Orlando. When you put this in, can't even spell. There you go. When you place this in, you're going to find keywords. The system will think it's going to pretty much puke out a bunch of awesome little things here and suggestions for you. What you're going to be looking for and what is a good keyword to use is, one, is it conversion based? Does it show intent behind it, or is there more of a research? So an example of intent is kitchen cabinets for sale. Someone typing this is looking for kitchen cabinets for sale. They intend to purchase, right? That is a conversion keyword. Compared to something like kitchen cabinets, which I've included, but I'll explain that shortly, is more of a research term. It's just someone saying, I don't know what kind of cabinet I want. I'm not sure if I'm ready to buy right now at this second, but I know I'm going to need them. So they're just putting kitchen cabinets in and they're going to do some research. That's the basic premise of what describes these. In addition, you can have the most awesome sounding word in the world, but you need to actually look at the data within here. First one is consistency. This is going to be divided in a graph over the 12 months of the year. Starting in the month that you're in now, you're going to see that every single month in this year has demand. People are actually looking for this, and you're going to be able to see your peak months. When they're looking for it the most. Awesome data for your client. But anywho, in terms of PPC, you want to make sure that there's 12 months of data on here. Next, CPC. This is going to be your price per click. PPC, how competitive is it online? Highly competitive. So what you're going to want to do is when you do find words that you like, you want to give them a check mark on KW Finder. And you can do this on and on and on. You're going to see all the ones that I've used because they have stars. I'm going to pretend I go check, 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 right? And then you're going to create, I'm just going to check them for now. You press add list. So as soon as I start doing this, you're going to notice that this feature becomes available. You're going to click that, and then you're going to be able to go to a pop-up which says name your list. In this case, I name mine Half Price Kitchen Orlando, or really Orange County. So let me just change that to Orange County. So you'll want to name it the location so that you don't get these confused. And then when you do so and you press save, you're going to be able to go ahead and open, and you're going to notice that there is a list populated of all the things that you've chosen. Yay! This process of keyword research literally will take hours. So make sure that you are in a good mood, happy, you've eaten, and you've gone and done all your things, and have a positive mindset, because this will take a time. Now, I'm going through this quickly, but trust me, this took a while. And this is only per each ad group. Only this little file folder has all the keywords pertaining to that. So I found a nice little list, and as a general rule, you want to get as close to 20 to start with as possible. If you want to do more than 20, awesome. But try to at least have as close to 20 as you can with these really relevant keywords. Once you've done that and you have your list, you can simply download them and then copy paste them into your PPC sheet, or you can go one by one. It's up to you. There's a cool little copy keyword function here, but make sure that they appear in a little subheading called keywords. Once you have your keywords, And ooh, one more cool feature I almost forgot to say. As soon as you do your little run of a search, I'm going to put this in here. You're going to thank me. Kitchen cabinets for sale Orlando. One thing you want to do immediately before you start picking on any is go ahead and organize it by search volume, with the most being at the top and the least being at the bottom. As you go adding these and adding them to your sheet in that order, this is how it's going to go. Now you'll know which keyword is the most demanded, second demanded, third demanded, because ideally per each ad you want to start using some of these. So kitchen cabinets Orlando is my strongest, so when I start writing my content I'm going to make sure that that's in there. So okay, we went over how to use this tool very quickly, I know, but at least you get the basics. From there we're going to fast forward, pretend you have all your keywords in here, woohoo. Now it's time to start writing your copy. We have copy in two different ways when it comes to PPC. One is the actual ad that a client sees, and the second is the description that the client sees. Per rules, you are going to have some serious character limits you need to memorize, become, know and love, eat, breathe, sleep. Okay. Rule number 1, for descriptions, you have 90 characters. Not 91, not 95, 90. That is it. Maximum that you can use. So I don't want to see 70 characters, I don't want to see 60 characters, I don't want to see 80 characters. Use the max possible until you get as close to 90 as you can. This is prime real estate here. This is where you need to sell people on what makes you unique, or at least captivate them and prompt their curiosity. In general, you want to always have a call to action. You can also try using the company name. You also can try doing emotional appeals. For example, description 1. This is 90 characters, y'all. Don't break the bank redoing your kitchen. How many people can relate? Call your friends at Half Price Kitchen today. A very friendly type of call to action, one that has an appeal and kind of talks to the, you know, the strings of your wallet, and very much often a concern with clients wanting to do this type of stuff. So that's a great one. Next, we have Shaker, Perla, Newport, Ebony, Avalon cabinets, and more. These are really popular styles, things that people are often looking for, and it has your call to action. Again, these are pretty close to 90 characters, and ways that you can always check is that here on Google Docs, they have something called tools. So you'll highlight whatever it is that you wrote. Ooh, and you can't highlight anything extra, not even a little space extra. Press tools, word count, there you are. It shows you how many characters. Easy peasy. Once you've written 2 of those, you need 2 per ad group. You're going to write your ads. Google Ads has recently updated in the last couple weeks per this date of this video, where you need to have 3 lines of copy per your ad, not the 2 like it used to be for the last 20 years or so. So what you want to do is create 3, and the rules for these are you get 30 characters per line. That is it. Do not go over. They will not allow you. You will have to redo it. So 30 characters, and you'll use that awesome tool. And again, you want to start using these keywords now. So kitchen cabinets Orlando is my top one. I'm going to separate subtext ad 1, and I begin to insert that in there. And again, we want to make it semi-fun, right? We want to grab attention. You don't want to make these boring where no one's going to click on them. So for kitchen cabinets, Orlando locals trust. Call our experts. Next line, 50% off. Vertical space, we love using vertical bars, and quick turnaround time. So we put some benefits, we put something about trust, and we put a call to action. Nice and complete. This keyword is a toughie, kitchen cabinets Orlando, because you're going to want to put kitchen cabinets in Orlando. You cannot. You must use keywords as they appear, verbatim, not one change. So that is another rule in terms of SEO. You're going to use them exactly. So for kitchen cabinets, Orlando locals trust, call our experts. That's a great way to soften it up and see a live example. We did the same thing here on ad 2. We just used the next keyword that came up, and we were able to come up with this. Again, we're seeing the benefits up to 50% off, open 7 days a week. All of our card callouts that we had at the top of our sheet. Ta-da! We've included them just to make everything really just stand out, and you know, people want to click on it. This process we repeated over and over painstakingly for hours with lots of love and happiness and care. And so you're going to see that for shaker cabinets. We repeated. We did shaker cabinets in our searches, location. Computer blotted a bunch of stuff out. Here we go. Ba, ba, ba. And we were able to create all of this content that you see here. So this particular client had about 5 different ad groups. Yes. Yep. All sorts of little things. He's approved it on today, as of today, so it's been wonderful. Now he knows exactly what is going to be on there. He approves it, and we have an email and a call to prove our work and what will be on the actual campaign without any surprises or issues from your client. If your client